Wisdom, where we talk basketball history through card breaks and the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. Today, we're opening this pack of 1992-93 Topps NBA Basketball Series 1. Topps Gold basketball card in every pack, similar to what Topps was doing with the baseball cards at that point. Let's open this up and see what we get. There might be some interesting rookie cards in here. I think this might be a year, this is a year early for Shaq, or this might actually be the Shaq rookie card year. We're going to find out. We're going to see what other stars of the era we can get in this pack. All right. Again, I will just reiterate, we're doing this to talk about basketball in the era. If you have, please help us fill in gaps in our knowledge. Definitely would appreciate that. The first card is a Hall of Famer. That is John Stockton. And we'll take that. Let me just move that so that we're not getting too much glare on there from the light. Might have to look at it at a little bit of an angle. All right, sorry about that. Just had to adjust the light a little bit so that we weren't getting too much glare off the card. We're using a new camera light for our videos, and so just had to take care of that. So thanks for sticking with us. So again, John Stockton, NBA Hall of Famer, of course, famously with the Jazz. He's wearing, this is an All-Star card. Stockton and Malone, Jerry Sloan. They didn't quite win an NBA title, but they got pretty close. But John Stockton, one of the great point guards ever in the history of the NBA. For the last 5 years. Been no more productive passer in the NBA than John Stockton, and that is absolutely the truth for that era. Here's another great player of this time, and that's Mitch Richmond with the Kings. And then we can kind of look at the back of the card here. I would just point out that these cards look exactly the same as the Topps baseball cards from 92. And you see there years with the Warriors as well as the Kings. He was a 5th overall pick. He played at Kansas State, and he was as it says, a big-time scorer. Elevated his open court game, personal bests and assists and three-pointers. So Mitch Richmond was a great player, very good all-star level player. All right, next up is just throwing the cards around here, just making sure that they don't stick together too much. Here is Robert Pack with the Trailblazers. Don't really know a lot about Robert, unfortunately. Next up is Mookie Blaylock with the Nets. I discussed him on a previous pack. Just to sort of reiterate, Mookie Blaylock was a very good point guard. He also played for years with Seattle, with the, I believe, right, with the, no, he was with, no, I guess, I thought he played in Seattle, but I guess I was wrong about that. Just to sort of reiterate about Mookie Blaylock, he was a very good point guard. He had some fans in the form of a rock band in the Pacific Northwest who called themselves Mookie Blaylock for a while. Just out of fear of reprisal for legal reasons, they changed the name of the band from Mookie Blaylock to Pearl Jam. But they also named their first album 10 after Mookie Blaylock's number. So there you go. All right, next up. This is our gold, the gold card that we got in here, and it is Willie Burton with the Heat. You can kind of see that. That's an interesting ceiling. I don't know where this game is being played, but it looks like the ceiling from like a function hall or something like that. But anyway, Willie Burton. That's kind of a neat card. I like that. All right, there's Dwayne Farrell with the Hawks. The Hawks often still to this day wear those uniforms. It's kind of neat. There's Chris Jackson with the Nuggets. Love those Nuggets uniforms from like the 80s and 90s. They're a real relic of that era. Mark Randall, big man with the Timberwolves in this time. Well, here's somebody. There's Bill Laimbeer. So as a Celtics fan, I don't really have a lot of good things to say about Bill Laimbeer. He was an excellent big man in the NBA. But as a Celtics fan, he was very easy to hate. Again, this is before my time a little bit as a player, so I'm just hearing things historically about the battles with the Larry Bird Celtics and sort of his reputation, and sort of getting into scuffles with the likes of Kevin McHale and Robert Parish and those guys. I think the thing is, to this day, those guys kind of still all hate each other, which I think is great. But yeah, Bill. I don't want to take away from Bill Laimbeer, who was like a really excellent player. It's Tyrone Corbin with the Jazz. Don't really know a lot about him. There's Fat Lever, one of the great names, one of the great nicknames, one of the great names ever. I love the name Fat Lever. That name has been around for a while. And he played a lot of years with the Nuggets, of course, center. A lot of good years, a lot of high-scoring years. He was a good player for a long time. Speaking of good players for a long time, there is a Hall of Famer, James Worthy, as an All-Star. You see him as a Western Conference All-Star, wearing the rec specs there. The sort of great scoring backcourt presence for the Lakers for many, many years. It was him and I guess he was a forward technically. That's right, yeah. Well, he was either way a great scorer alongside Magic Johnson and Kareem, and critical part of the championship teams of the 80s, and continued to play with them into the 90s, and I think even after Magic Johnson had to retire because he contracted the HIV virus. So there's James Worthy. That's a nice get in this pack. There is Tom Chambers with the Suns, who was a good player. This is kind of funny. I feel like every one of these packs I've opened from the 90s, I've gotten a Dana Barros card. Literally, I think there's like 4 different packs that we've opened, and we've pulled Dana Barros cards out. Dana Barros played as a Boston guy, played with the Celtics, and is still very active in the community. Always shows up to autograph signings and charity events and things like that. Just like such a great guy. And then here is Loy Vaught with the Clippers. It's kind of interesting to see a card where the guy who is the subject of the card is kind of in the background, and then somebody else is in the foreground. But let's finish up here with James Worthy. Show him right there. That is going to do it for this edition of Wax Pack Wisdom. Tell us what you thought of this break. What's your favorite card we pulled today? Do you have a story about any of the players in this pack? Leave us a comment and let us know. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, we ask you to please give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the video description, you can find links to where you can follow Wax Pack Wisdom on all social media channels. You'll also find a link to a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. If you enjoyed this video, please consider a donation to one of those organizations. It would mean a lot to us. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.